Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the ad for my podcast called The Dictionary. My name is Spencer Parks. I host this podcast. I read the dictionary, the words, the definitions, etymologies, even more. I talk about it. I try to explain things. I also sometimes try to put in some silly jokes or silly sing-songy things. You know, it's just a fun way to read the dictionary. Sometimes I have guests on, and I hope that you will turn on this podcast, check it out, start from the beginning, and, enjoy this, what I like to call edutainment. Check it out in all the places that you can find podcasts.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to bring you...
Yeah.
What?
We were not introducing it like that.
What? I mean, that's fair. It's really not the time for breaking news. But this is a different episode.
Mm-hmm. We're playing with the format.
I like to play with format. But this time, it's because we're actually listening to the people. From the talk.
Oh, why?
The social needs. What do you mean, why? So we were reading the comments.
Mm-hmm. That's not good.
Listen, our listeners are lovely. You made a comment in the Sonic episode.
Uh-huh. So when the Genesis first released, it was bundled with the forgotten game Altered Beast.
Excuse me? You sure did.
And I stand by it. Doubling down.
But now we're going to make a whole episode about the word forgotten. Because apparently this is not a forgotten game.
Okay.
It was a made game.
It was made.
I guess we can welcome to how did this get made?
It did get made.
It did get made.
All about the stories that were made.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Lexi Riley.
And I'm Daniel Klocka.
Okay, so the internet quickly told us that Altered Beast is not forgotten at all.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty beloved.
Yeah.
Which is brand new information to me, but you're the video game expert of the two of us.
Oh,
so no. Still a very low bar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that either of us are gamers.
Can someone sub in for me?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I thought that we would course correct
Okay.
our whole forgotten comment, and we can do a mini episode all about Altered Beast. A little history, a little gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that were in the same camp as us, Altered Beast is a Sega game, which is why it was in our Sonic episode.
Yes.
Came out in 1988 as an arcade game.
Mm-hmm.
It did so well that it came out with the launch of the Sega Genesis at home.
Well, do you know why it got paired up with there?
Because it did well.
Well, it was one of the many arcade games that were there. The thing is, like, it did all right.
It did well here. Not so hot in Japan, but it did well here.
Yeah. Part of the reason why they chose this game over many different games, because the gameplay for it, not too great. But
listen, it's a very specific type of game. I learned so much.
Yeah. But the reason why they chose to bring this game as the first game to be bundled with the Sega Genesis is because it showed off the 16-bit graphics very well.
That part I did not understand, so I did not put it in my notes. But it's a beat 'em up game. I didn't know that was a type of game.
Yeah.
Do you know what beat 'em up means?
Like a side scroller situation like we have with Altered Beast. You're just kind of going through the levels and you're just kind of like just mowing down just opponents. Did you ever play the Simpsons game in the arcade?
No, I did not.
Okay, that's a beat 'em up
I
game.
don't know that I've ever, outside of going to a Dave and Buster's for somebody's birthday, have stepped into an arcade.
Okay. Well, I mean
Moving right past.
It's a beat 'em up game. It's a very straightforward premise of just like
But it's only hand-to-hand combat or simple like melee weapons. That's what. Yeah. It's a brawler kind of game.
Yeah. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
They did.
That's a beat 'em up game.
Did you know there was a Die Hard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to play that in the arcade because I played hockey as a kid.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Ice rink has an arcade in it because you got to keep the kids busy.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they did have the Die Hard beat 'em up game where like you get to that part where it's like you either have to choose this button or this button, and depending on which button you choose, you either take out the opponent right away or you don't take out that opponent and then you have to fight them. Now, did it emulate the movie at all. Not even a little bit.
Oh, that's so sad. I was so excited.
They only share the name.
It was called Die Hard Arcade,
Yep.
and it was the first texture mapped 3D polygon graphics game.
I did not know it was the first one.
Yeah.
I remember playing that a lot. And a lot of us were like memorizing which button you would have to hit in order to like take out the guy, just like kick him over the railing and just like you just kind of move on so that you wouldn't have to fight him.
I really don't know how you weren't a bigger arcade kid or like video game kid, because apparently there was a Batman Returns, which I know is also up your alley, and then a Scott Pilgrim.
Yep, there's a Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up that was made like around the time that the movie was coming out. They just kind of like cashed in on that attention.
2010 to me seems like a very late time to be making arcade games, but
I know the DVD had come out and there was like a huge ad campaign with that to be like, if you like the movie, you're going to love the video game, because the movie plays like a video game.
oh, because you can play at home now. Never mind. I was thinking of like going to a physical arcade, and I was like, do the kids still go to the arcades these days?
I mean, we go to the arcade, but now they cater to us and make barcades.
Yeah, it's because there's adult beverages there.
Yeah,
Okay, do you know the first brawler game?
I do not.
It's Kung Fu Master. It was known as Spartan X in Japan, but it's like the foundation for all of the brawling games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You get to play as a Kung Fu Master and fight your way through 5 levels of the Devil's Temple to rescue your girlfriend from crime boss Mr. X.
I love it. With these games, like, it's always so simple. Whenever you want to showcase just like the fighting, the graphics, like something needs to be sacrificed, and in most cases, that's got to be the story. So it's like...
That's what I like about Altered Beast, though, and we'll get to the story of it later. It's a dense story compared to what everything else is.
Yeah.
Do you know what's not a brawler game, but I thought it was?
Sonic?
No. Mortal Kombat. Not a brawler game.
Oh, yeah.
We're splitting hairs here, because I was like, oh, Mario would be a brawler game, right? Nope. It's a platform game. We just switched so many titles. Like, I learned so much about the inner workings of genre of video game.
Yeah, because you're not fighting NPCs. In brawlers, like, you are fighting an NPC, whereas...
You're fighting an onslaught of them, like a wave of enemies, as opposed to Mortal Kombat is just one-on-one.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Altered Beast was designed by Makoto Ishida, and this was the very first game he designed.
He did? Do you know how he got it?
How he got the game? No.
Yeah.
I know where he pulls a lot from, but...
Okay. So when he was young, he saw his first video game in an arcade and was just like enamored by them, just like fascinated. And he would ride his bike like an hour and a half to go to an arcade. If he had money, he would try and play these games, but most of the time he didn't. So he would just like watch people play these games and just fell in love. Like, he wanted anything to do with video games. Eventually he did get some money, and a lot of his time was spent to play video games. And the very first game that he played like to perfection was Pac-Man.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, he prepared his body before going in because he knew that he'd be sitting there for like an hour and a half to make sure that he was like ready to go. And he would play it without any mistakes, and he just like kept going over and over and over again, to the point where he went to Sega and just asked to be hired by them, and they're like, well, do you have any programming experience? He's like, no, but I
got the love of the game.
but I can play games. And they hired him on as a playtester.
That's cool. That's
So-
a fun job.
Yeah, so he was a playtester for a little while, and then it came to the point where he was wanting to make his own game, and he pitched it to there where he's like, what if instead of when you're fighting, instead of getting weaker as you go along, you get stronger? And then they're like, that sounds like a great idea. We have no teams available to make this move to make this game for you. So he just kept festering on it and just kept thinking about it.
That's why there's so much inspiration for it. So the cool thing that I found, because I watched a playthrough and was like, this seems like a really fun game with a really cool story. And he pulled a lot of inspiration from a lot of different places. Pulled it from The Howling,
Joe Dante's The Halloween?
the 1981.
Yeah, Joe Dante.
And then from Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Where he turns into a bug-eyed monster.
So what screams 1980s horror more than ancient Greece? Altered Beast set in ancient Greece. Like you said, he wanted the characters to get stronger. And when he thought about that, he was like, what's stronger than ancient Greece? Which, sure. But I find that really fascinating because centurions hail from ancient Rome.
I mean, the internet wasn't around at that time.
Right. Totally fair. Again, I'm not mad at any of this story. He also pulled a lot of inspiration from Ray Harryhausen, who was a British animator and stop motion creator.
Yeah, Jason and the
Argonauts.
Yeah,
1963, Jason and the Argonauts. 1958, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. 1981, Clash of Titans.
Well, that was kind of a team inspiration. So originally with like the main character turning into a whatever beast, it was the team who was inspired by the Ray Harryhausen movies. So like they were the ones who like really put in the ancient Rome part of it, where Uchida, he put an emphasis on just making sure that these men could transform into a beast and making sure that that was correct.
He wanted it to be really flashy though and fun and very eye-catching. Also, pulling in those horror themes sounds like he wanted a sense of like a jump scare to it. He didn't love the original concept. So then he wound up working with a sketch artist and the lead game designer quit. And it's like, what do you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
But it worked out for the best.
I mean, he quit because he was on it for like a full month of just doing it. And for Uchida to be like, no. He'd be like, well, you can figure it out yourself then.
But listen, he had an idea in mind, and hiring a sketch artist and getting it to work that way. It's a very loved game now, so I guess all the right decisions were made.
Yeah. Do you know what the term is for a man transforming into a beast?
Animorph?
It's a therianthrope.
I thought it was Animorphs, like the book I read as a child.
Sure.
Where the teenager goes into a cheetah. I can't repeat what words you just said. No, neither can
therianthrope.
Therianthrope?
Therian. Therianthrope.
Therianthrope.
Therianthrope. Thrope.
Okay, so in the game, you can punch, kick, and jump. But they had more plans for a pressure-sensitive button that fell through. What is that? What does that mean?
So what they were trying to do is, depending on how hard you push the button, was how powerful your punch or kick was.
Oh, that is cool.
And they just couldn't figure out that technology.
Because deadlines.
Part of it was deadlines. Part of it was just the technology wasn't there. And in order to do so, they would have to like redesign a like arcade game itself.
Right.
Where for most of these arcade games, it's just the hardware is all there and they just need to like slot in the game.
Right.
And then just go design the shelf for it.
I'm sure someone made that button after the fact, though.
They have it now. The trigger buttons that we have on video games, like sometimes those have a pressure
That's why I'm such a terrible... I don't know. I'm a button smasher. I am. I'll admit it. I don't understand mechanics. But because that button never got made, at least in time for the game, Ishida was like, I think that's why players got bored.
Yeah.
But like he overall really liked how the game came out and people really liked the initial play.
Yeah. Did you get the quote he said when he like watched? So he said, I was so thrilled when I saw not only the players, but the people around the players uniformly surprised at the video arcade.
That's nice. So the plot is my favorite part. And you get to rise from your grave.
Rise from your grave.
Because Zeus resurrects you as a Roman...
Zeus?
Zeus.
Zeus.
Zeus. Because Zeus.
Because, oh, I see what you said there. Because Zeus.
But Kazoos.
Zeus.
Zeus, god of Greek mythology.
John Goodman.
Yes. I was going to say, what's his name from
Hercules.
Ted Lasso?
Oh.
Brett Goldstein. Isn't he Zeus? Oh, no, he's not.
He's Hercules.
He's Hercules.
Zeus is Gladiator.
He's in Les Mis.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm Javert.
Anyway, Zeus resurrects you, the player, as a Roman centurion to save his daughter, Athena, who has been captured by the ruler of the underworld, Neph. Athena is a damsel. She is in big time distress. So you have to play through 5 levels and you'll come face to face with undead creatures loosely based on Greek mythology.
I love it.
Yeah, I actually am super here for this game.
Yeah, we're watching it right now.
Yeah, really excited to play. Okay, so level 1, you play in a graveyard as a werewolf. Makes total sense.
Yar.
Level 2, you play in a cave as a dragon. Still sort of makes sense. Level 3, you're in an underground cavern, which isn't that just a cave?
But with skulls.
As a werebear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 4, we're in the netherworld. I guess we're going deeper underground.
This is Dante's Inferno.
Oh,
We just couldn't
shit, it
include
is.
all of the levels. There's only so much memory you can put on those games.
I was surprised that it was only 5 levels. Okay, so now we're in the netherworld fortress as a were-tiger. And then level 5, you're in the netherworld sanctum as a gold werewolf.
I love it.
Yeah. In the original arcade game, in the credits, did you see this? There was like this revelation that the whole game is actually just a film production.
It's just a play.
And they like have beers and have fun. How, of all of the video game movies, like films that we've gotten, how has no one made an Altered Beast film? Because like I really like the breaking of it and being like, it's all just a set.
We are in a werewolf renaissance right now.
That's also what I'm saying.
Yeah. Robert Eggers, scrap all of your ideas.
No
for
Nosferatu too.
Werewolf, or however he spelled it. How did he spell it?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, werewolf. WERWULF.
Werewolf. Werewolf.
Oh, is this his next one? Oh, we are in like a werewolf renaissance.
Yes, we are.
This is brand new breaking information to me.
Robert Eggers is basically doing his own monster universe.
I'm not mad.
You have so much already designed for you. So many more creatures. Like, why limit ourselves to just the wolf? Were-tiger? Amazing. We've only seen a were-tiger in Tekken 3. Like, why not just keep going with it?
My brain is exploding. Because you know they recreated Alter Beast in 2005.
I do.
For the PlayStation 2. We throw out ancient Greece. We lose Athena and the Centurion.
Well, do you know how that came to be?
No.
So it was Makoto Uchida. He rose in the ranks when he worked at Sega.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why.
He went from game tester, developer, and he just like kept going. He started in Japan, and in 95 switched over to Sega of America, and then he helped found the Chinese branch. So there is Sega of China that he is now the CEO of. And one of the first games that he put out was a new Altered Beast for the PlayStation 2.
But
Going back to his roots.
is Sega made the PlayStation 2?
Sega did not make the PlayStation 2. Sega, they are now just a software or just like a game development company.
Good for him. I'm just thinking about that kid that couldn't afford to play. Now being like a CEO and being like, my game, bringing it back.
Yes.
Okay, but I wanted them to bring it back. I like the storyline of the original, especially because when you think about Pac-Man and arcade games, I think of very basic, not in-depth storyline. And Altered Beast sort of does have one, but we lose it all. We lose the ancient Greece, we lose Athena, we lose the Centurion, but we keep the idea of Animorphs.
Yeah, because like I said, the Ray Harryhausen influence was really the team. And ironically, it was the same team who came back to help make the game.
To make the 2005 version?
His sole focus was character grows stronger, character turns into a beast. Like that was the main thing that he wanted.
Yeah, but now we have to modernize it.
Yep.
With Luke Custer, who was in a helicopter crash, has no memory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And can turn into a werewolf at first. The reason he can turn into a werewolf is that he's a genome cyborg
Yeah.
with an artificially altered microchip. That's the chip that turns him into a werewolf.
This seems scientifically plausible. No notes.
As you play through the game, you collect more microchips.
You just kind of eat them and just...
Do you know what, like, we lost werebears. And you know what we got instead? A merman. And then a Garuda, which I'm sure I'm saying incorrectly, which is a Hindu deity. It's like an eagle-like sunbird. A Wendigo, a Minotaur, and a dragon. We lost all our were creatures. So that game, the 2005 version, Video Gamer said the name will probably attract a number of fans of the original game. They may get the most out of what is an average title. For those who do not base their purchase on nostalgia, look elsewhere. Yeah, because there's no werebears.
Yeah. Well, here's another reason why
Werebears.
this became a forgettable game.
The 2005 or the...
Just in general.
Okay.
Altered Beast had originally come out and it was bundled with Sega Genesis, and it was only bundled with it for like the first 2 years.
Do you know why it got replaced by Sonic?
I do not. Let's hear. Because it wasn't family friendly?
They were worried about the like undead and the magic elements not doing well here, specifically the Bible Belt, like we did.
Yeah. And
No magic for you, just a talking hedgehog.
yeah. And also on top of that, the way that Sega Genesis was initially marketed was to be like, we are like the true video games. So there was one of like, you must have these to play the Sega, and it's like these 2 steel balls like in in their advertising. So like they really like machoed it up. That makes sense for that to happen. And when they see that Nintendo is just outselling them, and they just have like a little plumber guy who's just like so happy.
Right, it's
just
much
with
more
it.
family
And it's like, oh, we gotta change this up.
family friendly
Yeah.
for the children.
So it got like switched out, and there's like kind of this heartbreaking quote that I got from Uchida where he said, "When I heard that Altered Beast would be bundled with all these Sega Genesis packages in North America, I had no idea what to expect. It was only bundled in North America. I was working in Japan, and I heard it was there. I said, that's terrific. I can't wait to see it. But we never saw the bundle in Japan. I had to go to the US about 3 years later, and I heard about it. So I said, this time I'll definitely go to a store. But I couldn't find it anywhere. There was nothing but Sonic the Hedgehog bundle available. So I was never able to see it. It's my only regret about the game."
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Because the 2005 game also never made it here.
Nope. It was only available in the UK and Japan.
Yeah.
That's another reason why it was forgettable for us being in the States. We had no idea that this game came out.
If you went to an arcade, it was still in arcades, which is how it sort of kept its relevance.
Yeah. Now they try to, and a lot of the reason why a lot of these games do have relevance or why people remember them is because there are sequels that come out. Sometimes there's repackaging. They tried their best to like spread this game on many different platforms. There was a lot of different platforms that it went on to. So they also made it for the Mega Drive. Hey there, listeners. Editor Dan here. I meant to say Master System, not Mega Drive. I realized Mega Drive was the UK version of the Sega Genesis. Master System is what I meant to say. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Stop yelling at your podcatcher. The Mega Drive was the console that was before the Sega Genesis, and the Mega Drive was an 8-bit system.
Got it.
Genesis is a 16-bit, so they had to extremely downgrade it.
Yeah, and with all of the settings and the character, like a lot happens in Altered Beast. I feel like sort of making that downgrade a little doesn't play as well.
It did not. And the gameplay was also slower just because there was just so much going on.
That breaks my brain because I'm like, you would think that 8-bit would be faster, but I guess
you are trying to put the graphics to its maximum. So like so much of it is taken there. They did make it for the PC. There was a PC CD-ROM game that also came with like an added animation on there. Yeah, it was kind of a weird animation that had like this white face that kind of looked like the drama face.
That is the playthrough version that I saw.
Yep. So that's probably why, because it was probably easiest to record that. There was the version that they made for the Famicom.
Excuse me? What is that?
The Family Computer. So this is before the NES.
You're saying a lot of words that are going right over my head.
So there was the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES.
Now I'm on board.
Before it was known as the NES, it was known as the Famicom, and it was only available in Japan.
Got it.
Yeah. So I think I'm wrong about that. I think they brought it over to the US. It wasn't doing well. They renamed it, and then it did well after that. But yeah, they made it available for the Famicom. But that was also like a downgrade from like the 16-bit to an 8-bit. There was another version for the Amstrad, which is another type of PC.
Is this pre us growing up, or was this all happening while we were growing up?
I mean, I guess we were growing up, but we were like itty bitty.
Right.
Just a few other areas that it was available. It was available for the Atari, the Commodore 64, the ZX Spectrum, and the MSX, which I don't expect you to know any of those.
I know Atari. I actually think I've heard of Commodore 64 too, but the other two.
Yeah. So they made it all available for that. And then you've probably, I don't know if you've ever had a Tiger game before. It's a handheld game, but they can only program it to only play one game. And they made an Altered Beast Tiger game version of that.
What? Tiger games remind me of hit clips. Oh, I did have a tiger game.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
I bet you can guess which one I had.
Was it a Disney princess?
It was.
Was it for The Little Mermaid?
It was. Oh, I forgot about these. Guess what you're getting for Christmas?
So they really tried to make this game like widely available on like different platforms, just like get people to know about it. And there are some hardcore fans that are out there that really love this game. In fact, there is a musician out there. His name is Matthew Sweet.
Okay.
He's much bigger in the UK. He's the Robbie Williams of
I was going to say,
I don't know. But Matthew Sweet, he loved this game so much that he had the arcade
he pulled the Chandler
machine, in his house. Like he owned one of those arcade machines.
This is nuts.
He named one of his albums after the game. Like he named his album Altered Beast.
What?
Yeah. Although I think the album cover is like a dinosaur. So
I mean, altered. What's his name?
Matthew Sweet.
Oh, it is. It's two dinosaurs. Interesting.
Before the 2005 version, there was a kind of an unofficial sequel to Altered Beast that was called Altered Beast Guardian of the Realms.
Great title. Much better than Altered Beasts.
This was made for the Game Boy Advance.
Is that the handheld thing?
Yes.
I was not allowed to play video games. This was not my choice. I sound like I lived in the woods growing up.
You were an Amish girl just churning butter.
Michigan's close enough.
This came about because the company THQ, they obtained the rights to Altered Beast.
It's so many names.
And they tasked the development company 3D6 Games to make the game.
And this is without Makoto
Yeah, this is without Uchida's...
input.
Yeah, without his input, he wasn't really part of it. So a lot of it, the development for this game was just trying to mimic what the game used to be and just kind of like expanding on that. So they made more levels for it. They introduced different beasts to it, but like it was very similar, although the gameplay was just kind of lacking.
It still like blows my mind that it's only 5 levels. In my head, Pac-Man is like 100. Granted, I mean, that's a lot easier to make because you're on basically a similar course the whole time.
Yeah.
This is a very dense story to keep making more and more levels of. 5 seemed so small to me.
There is something that is there that I really believe that you can make something great out of.
Oh, 100%. I am on board for the movie, the new reboot of the game. Josh Holloway. He's a Centurion.
Yeah. The final thing that I just want to say about this is like...
I want to play.
It is not the best game that is out there, but it does have its place in video game history.
Churning Butter Girl thinks it sounds pretty great.
And for many of the early adopters of the Sega Genesis, this game has a lot of nostalgia. The images of a man turning into a different beast, that's pretty hard to forget.
There's also just the sayings. Like, I know that there's like the rise from your grave, but there's something else. Welcome to your doom.
But this is all to say that we needed Altered Beasts to learn how to walk so that Sonic the Hedgehog could run.
I'm going to make a lot of people angry. I am more invested in Altered Beast than I am in Sonic.
But the lore of Sonic.
The lore, I don't get me wrong. I love the whole fighter jets and the jacket. I love the lore of Sonic. I think they're doing a great job with the films. I'm even down to watch Jim Carrey dance. But there's something about Altered Beast that I am now like, you are the underdog and I am rooting for your recomeuppance. All because you said forgotten and we posted it on the internet. I'm really glad that this happened.
Yeah.
Like this was a part of the zeitgeist that I just never knew. And now I want to play.
We're going to play. But first, ads. Sega.
So I hit enter.
Rise from
Okay.
your grave.
Oh.
Now you're playing.
I command you to rise from your grave.
Yep, and that's where that sound cue comes in, which for some reason we are not able to hear, but Oh, it's actually probably going through the monitor. There you go. See? Just kick the zombies in the balls. Oh.
Oh no, did I die?
Nope.
Oh.
You just got knocked down a peg.
Okay. I'm gonna destroy my life. Bacha! Bacha!
Now, there is that three-headed dog that is behind you that you'll eventually have to take care of.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's going to come back and, like, nip you in the heels.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Where's the kick?
Punch.
What's A do? A is punch. A is E. Okay. Should be button smashing. A is E. Come here. Yeah.
Oh, you want to get that power up.
Come here.
Yeah.
Whee! Oh, I got too confident. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Kicking is fun.
Punch him.
There's so many creatures.
Okay, you want to avoid the sparky sparks.
Okay.
Oh, and there you go. You are getting stronger, but your head stays the same size. Ooh.
Give me. Get it.
Ooh. Oh, you're transforming into a...
Oh, that's sick! Ooh, come here. Yoink. I would never have thought that I had to work behind me unless you told me to do that. Oh, you're still there. Come here, you little. Come here. Oh. Oh, no. Am I still... I get to stay as a werewolf? Unless I suck, I
Until
guess.
the end of the level, yeah.
Come here. Oh.
Get that power up.
Oh, because you have to collect 3, right? Or you have to collect...
Now you want to avoid the Palpatine lightning.
How do you...
There. Oh.
Oh,
Okay, now go. Go.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Excuse me.
Now it's going to keep throwing its head at you.
Oh.
Just keep attacking.
Oh. Oh my god, how do you attack him? He's like, oh, I died.
Game over.
I died. Alright, your turn.
Okay.
Is that still only level 1? Oh dear god. Oh right, because I'm only a werewolf. I had to be a... Couldn't even get to a werebear. Bam.
Rise from your grave.
Rise from your grave.
Yep. Okay. Just kick these guys.
Kick.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'd give you a hug, can I? Yeah. That's my favorite one. The guy carrying his head.
I kick you.
I kick you, sir.
Alright, there you go. Oh, no. There. Oh, I need that power up. Gimme. Yeah.
Oh my god, the head really does stay the same.
Okay, I gotta punch this guy. Punch. Oh no. Punch. Yeah.
For 1988, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What, you can throw something? The punch is you throw like a ball?
I guess. I'm not sure how I did that. I'm also learning how to play this game.
Did you ever play this game as a kid?
No, I did not.
I did not.
No, I got the Sega bundle.
With
Or
Sonic.
the Sonic bundle.
How different your life would have been if you got the Altered Beast bundle instead.
Yeah, then I would be in the comments being like, how dare you?
I feel pretty vindicated.
Yeah.
That guy's hard.
So we
Is
can...
that the big boss at the end of that level?
Of just that level. So we can agree that this was pretty hard to play.
It's very hard to play, but I am really into it.
There was a playthrough. I'm sure that if I spent more time with it and actually try to like figure out the actual controls, I could do much better at it. But for the sake of time, I want to find a playthrough and we just kind of like scrub through that.
I also rescind every comment I said about 5 levels not being a lot because I really thought that the levels were going to be shorter and easier. So good on you for doing 5 because 1 felt challenging. And I'm sure back in the day in an arcade, it might have been different. Because would you have a joystick or would you still have just buttons to move forward and back?
You would have a joystick.
Sweet.
And we would have had the controls on our right hands.
Oh, that's also okay.
Yeah. So because this was online, so like it was swapped for us. And even with the Sega controller, it was set up in the same way where the D-pad was on the left side and then the ABC buttons were on the right side. We're going through the playthrough right here.
This must be a slightly even more updated version than what. Whoa!
This might have been the PC version.
Yeah. I was going to say, because it's a little crisper. Or maybe, were we playing the 8-bit and this is the 16?
No. You would have known if we played the 8-bit.
Got
We
it.
did not.
We did
But
not.
I think the one that we played might have been...
Whoa! Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, I think this is the CD-ROM version. But look at it. He's going through and avoiding all the thrown heads, which what a move to like attack, just throw your head at someone.
It reminds me of Power Rangers.
Ooh, we get an animation here.
So the playthrough that I watched, the sound is really great. The like cutscene kind of thing. And apparently that is Athena being in peril. Like each one is her being more and more in peril.
Okay.
So now we're in the underground.
Battling snakes. Snake. Oh, this is the arcade version.
Oh, cool.
Okay, this is cool. Okay, so we're turned into a wagon. You can fly around. You got little like...
You got your own lightning.
There's Voldemort. He transforms into
Eyeballs.
A
My worst
biblically
nightmare.
accurate angel.
That's a crucifixion.
Hey, crucifixions weren't reserved only for Jesus.
I know. Didn't say they were. I just got caught off guard. Get your power up, pal.
There it is. Yeah.
Nice. A turtle.
A turtle.
An evil turtle.
Oh, there he is powering up.
Gotta go back and get that turtle.
The head staying the same size is really funny.
It is very much a choice.
I mean, it makes sense. My body keeps growing.
We're back.
Oh, and does it turn it to stone or is it just like...
Oh, I don't.
Oh, it looks like it just kind of... Yeah. Kind of a Medusa effect. Neat. All right. Now to take out Palpatine. Oh. He's up against a dragon, so we're going under Fast and Furious rules where at first you're a villain and then you become an ally, but this is the opposite where...
Right.
Although, are we the baddies? I mean, we're kind of invading this area and like taking out all the people who live there.
No, we're rescuing the damsel in distress.
Right.
There's like a really good line of Meg's in Hercules.
Aren't you a damsel in distress?
I'm a damsel. I'm in distress. I can handle this. Have a nice day.
But that's when I was reading about Athena, I was like, oh, this just reminds me of Hercules. Like, I don't do his little poses.
Okay, power down. On to the next level. What level are we on now?
3 or 4.
I think this is 4. Yeah, we're about halfway through the video. This has got to be 4.
So then, wouldn't that be 3? We're halfway through and there's 5?
Well, he turned into a
Oh, that's
werewolf,
true. Werewolf.
a weredragon, a werebear.
Bear. So this must be 4. Whoa, look at all the fangs.
Oh, zombies are back.
These are my favorite.
Ah.
I love them so much.
It looks like they're using their heads like puppets.
Yes. Hecka-chow.
And yes!
Were tiger.
Okay.
Is this one your favorite?
I loved Tekken 3 when I was growing up.
I don't know what that is.
Let me see if I can find the character. I forget his name because I always played Eddie Gordo.
I can't not see Animorphs. Do you remember that when we were kids?
Yeah, I had a bunch of their books.
Especially the cut scenes. Oh, he killed Palpatine and now we have a croc. A floating, fire-breathing crocodile Pokemon. And you can crouch on this level.
Oh, I got it wrong. So it wasn't a tiger. It was a jaguar.
Oh.
So it was
What a mistake.
I know. So it was the body of a human, face or head of a jaguar.
Oh, but I can see
Yeah.
where you were pulling that from.
Yep. Big cat.
Big cat. Like, did he turn her into a bird? I'm not going to play that game.
Ooh, we got,
Mr. Tumnus?
yeah.
Evil Tumnus?
I was going to say the actor's name. I can forget the actor's name.
McAvoy?
McAvoy.
And a fish.
Ooh.
A bubble fish. Oh, so you can avoid the fish completely. You cannot avoid the Minotaur. Oh, now that I've seen this, though, I understand pulling the Minotaur. A unicorn!
And into
The
the golden werewolf.
This seems anticlimactic. After seeing all the really cool transformations.
I'm sure they went through all of the other transformations and be like, these are all really cool. He's like, and we got one more. And they're like, come on. He's like, all right, I'll make it easy on you guys. Just take the skin from the first level. In fact, we're going to make the color a lot easier.
Yeah, it is all one shade of gold. Whoever is playing this is doing a great job. It hasn't even lost a life. Good on them.
Rocksteady. That's who he's up against.
All of the coloring went into the rhino.
I do love what's happening in the foreground here.
do
That's
too.
kind of a Pompeii situation.
Yeah. You're supposed to be deep into the underworld now, so that makes sense. I also see why they were like, maybe this wouldn't do so well in the US in the 80s.
Oh, there's
she
your
is.
girl.
Oh, they're reunited. See, it's a love story.
But I don't see why it wouldn't. Like, we're recently coming off of the,
I don't know, the satanic panic of the 80s.
not the satanic panic, but Teen Wolf.
It's not the wolf.
Oh,
there we go.
Cut.
Let's go get some beers.
Team Shinobi. I do need to say, so Shinobi is a game before this, and actually the team who developed Shinobi went on to develop Ultra Beast, and they actually put in some like Shinobi Easter
That's
eggs into the
amazing.
game too.
Apparently there's also an Alex the Kid Easter egg.
Yes, there is,
somewhere.
because the head developer of Alex Kidd went on to lead the team as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Thanks, Internet.
It's fun. Yay. Thank you, Internet.
I have no notes. I think that's a pretty great game. I guess like Chuck E. Cheese was also a thing when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I never got really pumped about any of the games that were in there. I want to see this in Dave and Buster's the next time. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now someone make it a movie. How did this not get made?
I'm glad that the Internet has enlightened me on this game. It is a very important game.
It is.
I can.
We stand corrected.
I understand the
Flood of comments.
the opposition of like, how dare you? I get it. I understand. I apologize. I stand corrected.
Happily corrected.
Yeah, I'm glad I looked into this game. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really have enjoyed getting feedback on things and then running with it.
Yeah.
Should we jump to our recommendations of the week?
Let's do it.
What's yours? I always go first.
The movie Flow. It got nominated for Best Animated Film. It is about a cat who lives in a post-apocalyptic world. We're not really sure, but there are no humans that are around in it. And there is a great flood that like displaces many different animals. And this house cat is just trying to navigate through the world, making new friends, making new animal friends. And it's really cute. It's really well done, really well animated. I will say that if you are a cat owner, I've seen videos where they watch it with their cats and their cats will like look up at the screen and just like be enamored by it. But there is a little bit of a warning. There are some distressing cat noises in there.
Nope, I'm done.
It'll make you feel uneasy.
Is it like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like bad? Because I'm out.
I don't think it's that bad, but there are some moments where if you do own a cat and you hear those noises, it might hit you a little hard, but I will assure you, I think I can do this. It's just like, does the dog die at the end.com?
Oh.
The cat does not die.com. So, yes, those sounds are distressing, and apparently the noises of that cat is the director's cat.
Did he put out a statement that his cat was not harmed in the making of that movie?
I'm sure they did. But they used a lot of real animal noises for the film. But overall, it's an incredible movie.
Nice. I guess I'm sort of still doing a blind recommendation because I'm going through the best picture. I was going to say options, contenders. I tend to do that every year. It's nice because there's always like your big blockbusters that you wind up, everybody sort of sees. But there's always 3 or 4 that are thrown in that are lesser known. Those are the ones I get really excited to see. So next on my list is Nickel Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's directed and written by Ramel Ross. I know nothing about it. I stay pretty blind when I'm running through them, but that was one on the list that I was like, everybody's sort of like, if you say Dune Part 2, you know what it is. If you say Wicked, you know what it is. At this point, if you say Emilia Perez, you know what it is. Left on my list is Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, and Anora. I've got some work to do in a couple weeks. Oscars be what they will. I do think there are other films that are not the mega blockbusters that are totally worth our time. So I think Nickel Boys is a one we should watch. It's scored pretty high. Sounds pretty good.
I want to do another blind recommendation.
Okay.
But if you are in the Los Angeles area, if you are next to a Laemmle Theater, they will do a special screening for all of the Oscar-nominated short films.
Oh, right. You love this.
Yes. I highly recommend doing it. I did it once before, and it was amazing. Because most of the time when you're watching the Oscars and they do the nominations for the short films, and most of the time, just like the audience, just like eyes are just glazed over. They're just like, I haven't seen any of these. But the Laemmle Theater, they do something really awesome where they compile all of those short films, and you get to watch them in just one long sitting. And it is amazing to see these short films.
Yeah, that's a really good blind rec.
I could be wrong, but I think they separate it between animated short films and live action short films.
Right. Otherwise, you're just like,
Yeah.
It doesn't feel so short anymore.
But yes, if you are near a Laemmle Theater, if you are in Los Angeles, and knowing the demographics from
Our analytics tell you might just be
most likely next to a Laemmle Theater. But yes, if you are near a Laemmle Theater, please look up the show times. Support those smaller theaters. Don't.
As much as we love our A-list.
Yes, but
Just support, the theaters.
Yes, and that's it.
Yeah, those are recommendations. Thank you, Internet, for telling us that we were wrong and should play Altered Beast. And that's our show for this week.
Yes, it is. And that's going to do it for our show. If you would like to support the podcast, the best way to do so is to join our Patreon. That is in the show notes. You can also purchase merch on our Redbubble page if you cannot afford that, which I completely understand.
Times are tough.
Yes, there are other ways that you can support the show. You can follow us on our social media. We are on Blue Sky at HDTNGM, and we are on TikTok and Instagram at How Did This Not Get Made. Also, rate and review the show. That helps us out tremendously, especially with the almighty algorithm. It helps bring us to the top. And tell your friends, tell your family, tell your fellow film nerds about this, or Altered Beast nerds, because you guys are out there.
And we're one too.
Yes. Tell them about the show. Tell them you enjoy it. It really helps us out.
Go see a movie.
Go play a video game. Go touch grass. Goodbye.
Bye.